Hey, this is the Daily Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about coming unglued. At the beginning of this year, I shared with you some of my New Year's resolutions. I made this little mind map here. I still carry it around in my back pocket of some of the things I wanted to try to do this year. And some things are going really well so far. Some things not so much, but I still carry it around in my back pocket and it's kind of falling apart and everything. But one of the major things I talked about for the YouTube channel was to stop saying filler words, like, see that? And so forth, and you just get better at doing the videos and get better at speaking. So I've done a few things this year. I started an online course from Roger Love, some online speaking course, and I also joined the local Toastmasters group, so the Toastmasters group in Oxford. And Toastmasters, for those of you who don't know, is like a public speaking type of thing where everyone gets together and they practice speaking in front of a group, being more confident, all that kind of stuff. Right, so, and it's been going pretty well. Every 2 weeks I go, but last Tuesday was my first speech in front of the group. So I had one impromptu speech, which wasn't so bad, but I had my first prepared speech. So I spent some time reading the speech and rehearsing it and just sort of learning it and everything. And let me tell you what, I was super nervous. See, part of me was like, before the speech, I thought, from a logical point of view, I thought, I used to get really nervous about this kind of stuff, but I shouldn't be anymore because, I've been doing the videos, trying to, practice this kind of stuff. Everything should be fine. But let me tell you, and from a logical point of view, and plus from a logical point of view, it's like a supportive group. Nobody was going to heckle me. Everybody's really supportive. They'll point out things that you can improve and some things that you've done really well. But as the date approached, I started to get more and more nervous about it, and I couldn't even pinpoint it. Like, from a logical point of view, I wasn't thinking of the worst happening. I was just getting really, like, my heart was racing. Like, before the speech, my stomach started to have all kinds of problems, which I won't go into, and I just really tensed up, right? And my big fear was that when I got up there on the stage, I would become unglued and not remember everything. But fortunately, I rehearsed it so many times in my head that when I got up there, I was just basically, it was almost like I was reading it, from memory. So I'm just going through it and trying to focus on not using filler words, pause at the right moments, breathe properly, all this kind of stuff. But man, it was awful. I mean, it was just the stress of everything. And I didn't have that with the impromptu one. With the impromptu one, it was just, they called me, I panicked for a few seconds, launched into a speech, talked a little bit, and then sat back down, kind of like the daily videos, right? So, but the thing is, I used to feel that way when I started doing the videos. I got really nervous the first few, and if you look at some of the early videos on this channel, I was kind of shaking a little bit, even though ultimately not very many people watch, but it was really hard to get over that. And I used to feel that way when meeting with clients or job interviews too. I would get really nervous, like I was sitting for a test, and think, don't mess this up, don't mess this up. And it was that stress and the nervousness that caused me not to perform at my best, because I wasn't relaxed and confident and everything like that. So I'm going to continue doing these public speaking Toastmaster type things just to get used to that, because I need to get used to it. But there's a few other areas in life and business where I tend to come unglued and tense up and everything like that. Another one is with not so much dealing with clients. Once I have a meeting with a client and I sit down, I've done that so much that I'm just completely comfortable with it. I feel like I belong there, but I didn't at first. That was really hard. But it's doing the cold calling, doing prospecting. Prospecting is something I'm trying to do more of. A lot of our clients are inbound, so people find us on the web, they find us on YouTube, all that kind of stuff, and they'll call and we start a project. All that works really well, but I kind of feel like I should be going out there and bringing some people in. And I told you about this before. In the early days, I tried to do cold calling, and I've got so many books on cold calling. Here's one of them over on my bookshelf over there. But that just really bad. It's it's like when I was a teenager and asking a girl on a date. You know, you do the approach and then you walk right past, right? So when you have the phone, you have to make the call. I just can't do it. It's something I'm going to try to work on a bit more this year, right? A lot of you guys who are going to meet with clients, you might feel this way, you know, that you get all tense up and come unglued and everything like that. The same way I do speaking in front of a group of very supportive people. It wasn't even a large group. It was about 15 or 20 people probably. So a lot of you guys get that way standing in front of people, but I think it's just going to be the case of doing it over and over again. So I'm going to keep doing it over and over again with the public speaking thing until I get better about it, until I get more confident in it, you know, and hopefully that'll work out. But you know, I know a lot of you guys, when you meet with clients, yeah, I just have to say, keep doing it. And every time you sit with a client and you don't get the job, it's still worth doing. Or if you go to a job interview and you don't get the job, it's still worth doing because it causes you to be more comfortable about the whole thing. So hopefully that makes sense. Now my question for you guys is, what causes you to become unglued? Where the panic and almost like the stage fright starts to build up inside you, and your heart starts to beat and you start to sweat. What kind of things in your life does that to you? Because for me, it's talking in front of a group of people, definitely. Cold calling, definitely. If I had to ask people out, there's no way I would be able to do it. But you know, in sales situations, cold sales situations, I don't think I would be able to do that either. So anyway, that's it for today. I'll talk to you tomorrow.